the chat, and then we can answer them one by one. Now let me share my screen with you. I hope you can see it. So thank you again for today's webinar. I want to start now first talking about the EUDR in general and the background. So I'm not sure whether you're aware, but today is a big day. The different EU member states or member countries have requested the EU to postpone the implementation of the EUDR by 1 year. So instead of starting now on the 1st of January 2025, it might be postponed to 2026, and a decision may be made today. That doesn't mean that the EUDR is not going to happen. It just means that we have a little bit more time to really implement it. But it does come, and I just want to, at this beginning of this presentation, alert you that it's not only the EU that is going to implement something like that, but many other countries as well. So why is it that the EUDR is coming? So EUDR stands for European Union Deforestation-Free Regulation. So it's basically the EU members recognizing that they're contributing to deforestation worldwide and climate change by consuming products that are contributing to deforestation. So this is now something that they want to fight, and this is why they have been introducing the EUDR. That means that they basically have a couple of core components of the EUDR by basically placing or prohibiting a number of products that are coming from deforested land that to enter the EU. They are also basically implementing a system that demands due diligence. So basically forcing the importers, so the companies in the EU that are buying from non-EU countries or from within the EU to comply with due diligence criteria, and then also benchmarking. So they're introducing a system where they're basically categorizing each country or specific areas within a country into high risk, medium risk, and low risk areas. And that means that has different implications on the general due diligence that a company needs to comply with. Now, what are the EUDR commodities? Initially, there were 6, now there are 7 commodities, and starting with palm oil, there's soybean, wood products, cocoa, coffee, cattle, and rubber. There are more coming, so the EU is working on more. I think maize and biofuels is on the way coming, and they're going to they're going to continuously adding new products into this list. So be prepared. I think it's better to be ready for compliance. So it doesn't only include those products, but also derived products like I'm showing you here: leather, chocolate, furniture, etc. And what is also important, the EU is not only introducing this EUDR to companies or organizations from outside Europe, but everybody within Europe and outside Europe has to comply. Now, why does it affect you, and especially here in Kenya, the coffee sector? If you look into this number here on the bottom left, Kenya is exporting coffee worth, I think it's 121 million US dollar. And that is basically, of that, 41% is going into the EU. Now, that is 50%, almost 50% of the money that you make from coffee that is at risk by possibly not complying. So it's important to work together with the EU and their regulations to be able to continue exporting. Now, what are the requirements? So first of all, you need to make sure that you have data collection points on deforestation-free products. So products must be produced on land that has not been subject to deforestation after 31st of December 2020. So deforestation means the conversion of forest to agricultural use, whether human-induced or not. So if you have a fire that burns down your forest, even that is part of deforestation. Forest is defined as half a hectare or more with trees higher than 5 meters of canopy cover for more than 10%. And please note that this can be also extended to other wooded land, so less recovered than forest and other ecosystems. Now, another main requirement is a legality check. So anything that is going to be exported or imported into the EU needs to meet the legal requirements of a country, whether that is depending on land use rights, environmental protection, forest-related foods, labor rights, human rights, etc. You need to make sure that the producer is complying with the laws of the local country. So the producer means not only the cooperative itself or the organization itself, but also the individual farmers. So if your farmers are employing laborers, forced labor, slavery, or having children working at their farm, that is an exposure, and that could mean that you're already not compliant. And then any operators, so also the cooperatives, all the exporters and the importers need to collect information on the product. So what are you exporting, importing, which quantities, where does it come from, including geolocation data. So what is important here, I know a lot of people think they have to have the polygon for all the fields. Polygons are only required for any product for coffee that is produced in areas bigger than 10 acres or 4 hectares. If your fields or farms are smaller than that, the GPS coordinates of the center of the field is sufficient. And then, of course, operators must collect information on and have evidence that the products are deforestation-free and have been produced legally. So just mention the legality check. Not for coffee fields that are in areas that are considered medium risk or high risk for deforestation, you need to have an additional due diligence survey. So an additional questionnaire that you need to fill in for each of the farms to make sure that the produce in the field have not contributed to deforestation. And last but not least, what you need to do is you need to submit a due diligence statement once you have confirmed that everything is fine to the EU register, and that needs to contain information not only on the product, so you're exporting Arabica, grade AA, how many units, quantities, and the batch number, including a GeoJSON file. And a GeoJSON file is a combination of all the coffee farms that have contributed to this specific lot or batch, including additional attributes of who has been the farmer, how many kilos has he harvested, and which date. So that is where the traceability comes in, and that is actually the most complicated part of the whole EUDR. So there you really need to go digital and make sure that you can process all that data. Now, what else? Operators must analyze risk of non-compliance associated with products, including the risk level of the country. Is it a high, medium, or standard risk? High, medium, or low risk area? But then also checking in, where do you produce? Is there, I think in Kenya, there might be issued national park. Oh, sorry. Some echo. Okay, good. So it should not be around national parks or protected areas. Then you need to make sure that your information is reliable. So this is also where digitalization comes in, that you're in control of the data that you collect. Then any other concerns like corruption, etc., violations of human rights should be sorted out. Exactly. So there's a lot of information that you simply need to be able to collect and supply, and make sure that some of it could be also certified by other third-party verified schemes that you need to collect and share. And then you need to mitigate risk. So where risk is non-negligible, operators must act to reduce risk. So this is where this additional due diligence comes in. So if you have now a farm that is located within a high or medium risk area, you need to collect additional information to have this additional due diligence survey where you now collect and check basically whether or not there's a risk for deforestation. So if everything is done, as I mentioned already, and if you think whatever you are wanting, whatever you as a cooperative want to sell to the EU is safe to export, then you can produce the due diligence statement, which is again this traceability statement, and sell the product to your buyer in the EU and share now this information with them. So they will upload it into the EU register. Note that there's a risk that if you sell product that comes from farmers that deforest or that don't meet the legal requirement, and your buyer is buying them, they will be fined. If that comes out, they will be fined for buying non-compliant product with 4% of their turnover. So that is a lot of money. And in addition, your area will be put as a high-risk area in the map in the EU, making sure that in future, everybody has to go to a very stringent compliance check. Now, I'm happy to answer more questions later. Now I wanted to take you briefly through eProd, who we are, what we do. So we offer software for agriculture companies. So these can be cooperatives, food processors, commodity traders, anybody that works with hundreds of thousands of farmers and needs to manage their daily operations. We offer an affordable solution that comes off the shelf, and it is a platform that can easily integrate with other platforms. So through Bluetooth scales, Bluetooth printers, we can communicate with other forecast platforms. We can share data with financial institutions for credit scoring or push payments through M-Pesa, mobile money through bank transfers, etc. Our system has been optimized for low bandwidth environments, so you can go into the field without having internet, having a simple Android phone, and get the polygons and the GPS coordinates and collect all the survey data information for the legality check and due diligence check that you need to have to be compliant. So no internet required. You can upload any data whenever you have internet. The data though is hosted in the cloud, so you can access it from wherever you are. Last but not least, our system helps companies to generate data, valuable information that is important not only for our clients, but also for the stakeholders, like sharing data for the EUDR. As a company, we are in over 30 different sectors. We've implemented a system with over 200 clients, and through our clients have probably reached many more than 500,000 farmers in the meantime. So what is it that we offer? We really work with the cooperatives, with the unions, with the food processors, exporters, to help them register the farmers, register the field, provide access to market, manage training programs, implementing surveys, access to information through weather forecast, pest, integrated soil testing. We help our clients to manage financial aspects, whether this is providing loans to farmers, whether this is managing input distribution, whether connecting farmers to financial institutions, managing payments, advances, payment deductions, repayment of loans, etc. And last but not least, all that because the market more and more requires traceability, transparent processes, and trust. So for that, our clients need to share data with stakeholders, so with their clients, for example, with the governments, with NGOs, and internally make sure that they have systems in place to manage quality, accountability, and build a strong and sustainable supply chain, because this is what the market requires. Now, our system helps you as a cooperative or as an exporter, processor, to manage comprehensive farmer profiles. So you first create them or import already existing data, and then collect the field information, collect survey data. You start buying from the farmers, process the payments, etc. And the more you use the system, the more data you get, and the more visibility you will come into the potential of a farmer. The system is organized in a way that you have a farmer can have multiple fields, and if you're an organization that does not only coffee but also cocoa or dairy or something else, you can also add more products to the same farmer. So then a multiple group of farmer then forms part of a farmer group or a village or an irrigation scheme, and then multiple of those can form part of a bigger production area of a cooperative, and then still be part of a higher level like a union. So we help our clients to organize their farmers in a way that they are easily managed and that you can easily reach out to them and manage the different groups. So we believe that quality and traceability is key to success, and it starts with your seedlings that you produce in your own seedling nurseries. you assign to your farmers, and then you register the field, you get the GPS coordinates, the polygon, you can assign a productivity rating to understand future production. You know how many seedlings you have, how many plants, you know the age of the plants, and you know where they come from. And at different levels in the system, you can now integrate the surveys. So if a farmer has multiple fields and is in a high-risk area, then you would like to have here at the field level the due diligence survey that allows you to monitor the risk of deforestation at the farmer at this level. Now, when the crop is ready, you can either go and collect the produce from the farmer, so the farmer comes to your cooperative and delivers the coffee. So there, at that moment, you weigh the product, you can integrate with Bluetooth scales, then check the kilos, assign a batch. So we help our clients to actually print batch numbers. Yes, so we can help you print something like that for traceability. And then link the produce not only to the specific batch, like it can be a daily batch that then goes into processing, but also to the field from which it has been harvested. And I will show you that as an example a little bit later. From there, you can then manage the full traceability through your supply chain. So you have your fresh coffee that then you need to convert into, from 100 farmers, that you convert that into one batch. And then you do your washing processes, your sorting, your drying, your grading, your packaging, your hauling, and then assign it to your final client. And everything we can manage through the system, helping you to maintain a traceable product. And for the final product, what we then can also do is print QR codes like that through the system that upon scanning will guide you back to the farmer in the area that has produced it. If you need consent from the farmers for data sharing, we can help you also to print ID cards like that. That will help you to get the consent from the farmer to basically allow you to share that information through an integrated biometric ID function. The data collection happens on the phone. It's a simple Android phone, nothing fancy, that helps you to collect data. So here on the left, for example, you see a farmer profile, you have the name of a farmer, system-generated number that can be also a farmer cooperative number, the ID number, then you assign the farmer into a group, you have the telephone number, the birthday, the gender, you have the age, you have the information about the location of the household of the farm, the preferred payment method, and in the farmer profile, additional information on loans, on fields planted, outstanding payments, past production in the collection tab, surveys, so this is where the legality check, for example, sits, and you can issue inputs and advances to farmers. Then you have a field application that helps you to now register and assign fields to a farmer, and these can be multiple fields. And you have the acreage, you have the location, you have the polygon, you know where the seedlings are coming from, you can integrate a seedling batch, you can integrate the current status of the crop, and more. And then here at the end, you have the buying page. And this is where the traceability comes in. So in this case, our farmer produces rice. She produced 50 kilos. You can get that weight from a Bluetooth scale to reduce corruption or human data entry errors. Then you link to a traceability code or a batch number. You have the traceability code of the field, so it links you to the field from which you have harvested, and you have a date, time, and a location stamp. So all the information that you need for the traceability in the EUDR. And then you can decide through our system to pay cash a farmer or an advance to farmer for the kilos that he delivered or she, or you simply wait, analyze the quality, or in the coffee sector, you wait until you've sold the coffee, and then you analyze how much money you have, and then you pay the farmers through mobile money, through bank transfers, either daily, weekly, monthly, seasonally, through the system, without having to export and import it into any platform. You can manage your input distribution. I know many of you cooperatives or organizations issue seedlings to the farmers, fertilizer against credit. So you can do that through a system, even advances, cash advances. You can have multiple loans that you assign to a farmer, and you can structure the repayment the way you want it. So it could be for seedlings, a certain percentage from each delivery until the farmer has repaid. If there's a cash advance for school fees or for harvesting, You might want to recover 100% immediately from the first harvest. So we can help you to structure all these different payment modalities and repayment modalities and manage the loan repayments for the farmers and the finances. Now, the beauty of all this data now is also that you can link now this information to financial institutions, of course, only if the farmers agree with it. So you can now share relevant information from the farmer with the bank, and if the farmer wants a loan, he can go there, request it, or through a USSD code, request for his credit balance, and then get a loan from the bank, and then make sure that it's getting repaid once he gets his payment through this specific bank account. You can, as a cooperative, as an organization, now plan your field activities. So as part of the EUDR, you can schedule for your field extension officers, or maybe you have some lead farmers within the cooperative that do the data collection, or you might hire some enumerators. You can assign them to visit a specific group to do the legality check, the mapping, and the due diligence check. And you can monitor who has been doing how much and which farmers are still pending. So that helps you with your data collection process. In addition, you can do much more. So if you're fair trade certified or organic certified, you can import the organic standards, and then we can share them with you in a way, in a format that you can send it, for example, directly to EcoCert for analysis and certification. You can manage your own software, you can manage demonstration. Yes, against background. And you can manage soil testing. So that is also a nice functionality that we can offer. You have an integration with AgroCares, and with that you can offer affordable soil testing to your farmers. So through an infrared device, you can analyze the quality of the soil, and then that information will be imported into the eProd app, into that specific field, and then you can share when needed with the farmer production advice on when to apply which nutrient, for example. Now, how does it all go together with the EUDR? I mentioned you need to do, as part of the EUDR, a legality check, generate a due diligence statement, and have an additional due diligence check, like another survey, in case you're in a medium or base risk or high risk country. So only if you're in a low risk country, so green highlighted, and you don't need to have an additional due diligence check. So how can you do that with eProd? It helps you to register the fields. So you see here on the eProd app, the field registered. When you pick here on Polygon, you walk around the field and you get offline without internet the shapefile of the field. From there, this can be visualized in the map of the EU. I wanted to show that this is the map that the EU uses standard. Once they have classified the different areas as high, medium, or low risk, you will have here color coding. And then when you have then imported your polygons or your locations, you will see which farmers are in which area, but do you need to do the additional due diligence. Now from there, you can do the surveys. So I mentioned the legality check and the additional due diligence. These are questionnaires that we can import for you into the system that help you now to fill in this information for each and every farmer. That is quickly done. You have a lot of questions, but you can easily answer that and then see whether or not a farmer is compliant. From there, you have the traceability bit, and I think this is the most important, most difficult step. So you have here different screens. On the left, you have the buying page when you buy from a farmer. So you select from the Simba farmer groups, farmer Jane Gibet, who buys coffee Arabica, 750 kilos. Now, by clicking on back traceability, you can scan a code like that, and we help you to generate these and implement that. From there, you now select the field from which the farmer has harvested. So there you get a list of all the fields for this specific product that the farmer has planted. So if a farmer has 3 or 4, you need to select from the 3 or 4. Then you highlight that, and you have the relevant information that you actually need as part of the due diligence statement that you need to share. So you have the farmer, you have the kilos harvested, you have the harvesting date, you have the batch code, and the field traceability. So you know from which field that crop comes from, and you have the polygon, right? Now, from there, you have no cooperative that buys in a day and aggregates throughout the day. And you have this batch number that you've assigned. So this purchased or collected product, you now convert into stock. So you have fresh produce stock, 1650 kilos, and the system generates then a unique batch number for this entire consignment. And that will guide and accompany the product throughout the process. From there, you can then move the stock into the washing. Then you can do the fermentation, you can do the drying, then you have some waste account for the drying waste, and you keep on going until the packaging of the final product, and have the new final stock, and then generate reports. So there are different ways of generating reports. Just wanted to show you some that we have. If you need to now fill in or look for a specific batch, there are lots of reports that we can generate that help you. You can also generate nice dashboards, and also the due diligence statement report that you will need to share with your clients. Now, what else? And this is now, I'm coming to the end of my presentation. And this is now also where we're doing the integration with Zowasel, and where we see there's a benefit of us working together and partnering. What you can do is, if you have now multiple organizations or multiple cooperatives or multiple companies supplying or selling their data, their produce through one platform, we can help you share that and integrate that into the platform. So here we have 3 cooperatives, for example. We can upload the data into a data warehouse and then feed it into the Zowasel platform, for example, for you to onward sell it. So you can now market your product as EUDR certified product with all the specific information, and then help you through the Zowasel platform promote and market whatever you have in stock. So thank you very much. Please, if you have questions, put them into the chat, and then we're trying to answer them in the course of this webinar. Over to the Zowasel team.
All right, thank you very, very much. So it's time for the Zowasel team to present. Jennifer will be presenting for Zowasel. Jennifer, the floor is all yours.
So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for joining our webinar today. Thank you to our cooperatives, our buyers, and our colleagues from eProd for this opportunity. I will take the audience through what we do at Zowasel, and specifically about the marketplace. Because we already know in Kenya, coffee as a value chain, with the new reforms that have been there, we are really struggling with the market, and that's why Zowasel is here to support you on that. So what we do at Zowasel is to link farmers to market. And I hope you can clearly hear me. If you're not, please confirm this.
Yes, we can clearly hear you. You can proceed.
Thank you. So, as I was saying earlier, we have so many players in the industry who are doing support to farmers. An example is our partner eProd Solutions, who are giving us support in terms of EUDR compliance, and Amut has spoken a lot about that. But for Zowasel, we come in also to support and ensure that there's compliance, as well as the marketplace, where we come in strongly to support the farmer to get the market. So who is Zowasel? Zowasel is an agri-tech company, and we leverage a lot on data science and technology to support productivity for smallholder farmers, ensuring that we link them to market. We ensure high productivity, sustainability, and profitability for the farmer. So that is the reason why we came up with the marketplace, where we are able to now connect farmers to the market, because we realize that the farmers really struggle a lot to get the market. And who is our market? We have market for local, market within the country. We have a regional market within East Africa and Africa as a general, and the global market. And how we do this is through a platform where we link buyers and sellers, and we ensure that there's security in terms of transactions. This then ensures that we save the time for the buyer, and so what does Zowasel buying to export, or you're buying directly as a global buyer? For example, the likes of Barry, Olam, all those buyers who go through the marketplace, where you can be able to sell your product, and we support you to ensure that you don't have the hassle of screening buyers, of screening sellers, and also the management of the produce, because we have a marketplace where we give you the quality specifications of the various buyers, then you come in to sell your product. We also support you to do away with the bottlenecks that come with vendor listing and delisting, and all this we do through the platform. Apart from that, we also access a lot of market intelligence, so that we can be able to counter speculative pricing. We all know that agricultural produce is subject to a lot of speculative pricing. And in the marketplace, we are able to counter that by ensuring that you're getting update from buyers on the current market price, and also what are the trends in the marketplace. And then the farmer is able to make a good decision. And coffee being a value chain that is, it's a complex value chain. It's not like any other value chain where you just sell, you come with your coffee and just sell in the market. So we ensure that all the parameters are met, and that the produce is meeting the quality standards, and that when we go to the market, we are also pushing for better prices. So that's one of the aspects that we look at in the marketplace. So Zowasel is in several value chains, and we have grains and cash crops. In terms of grains, we have soybean, maize, rice, wheat, millet, sorghum, and barley. And in terms of cash crops, it's mainly in Kenya, we have coffee, avocado, and macadamia. So the marketplace is our flagship product solution, where we ensure we connect farmers or farm produce to the market. And this is how it looks. So on one hand, we have thousands of vetted vendors. These are the buyers of the product. And then on the other hand, we have products. So when we talk about the vendors, we are talking about farmer-facing organizations like the cooperatives, where most of our audience are based today. Then in terms of buyers, we have the manufacturers, and the processors and the exporters who are using our platform. So this is what we do. We connect both of them so that they can be able to transact through the marketplace. Now this marketplace, which is an online solution. This is how the process works. We have sellers on one end, and we have the marketplace. Then we have the crop buyers on the other end. And the process is very simple. It's been simplified as a one-stop solution, where you, as a seller, who are now the coffee cooperatives, you come to the platform, you create your account, register, and then you can be able to monitor what happens in the platform in terms of the prices from the different buyers, the quality specifications, and then as a seller as well, you can come in and be able to check what's happening in the market for coffee, for instance. You can be able to share your quality specifications. You can be able to place or rather to have your orders out, so that if any of the sellers who are the farmer-facing organizations, the cooperatives, the merchants, the aggregators are able to meet your demand, then this is where you interact. So one key aspect that we notice that is very critical in the marketplace is the quality control. So what have we done? We have employed field agents who are going to support the farmers to achieve the quality specification, all the way from production to post-harvest management, and now to the quality checks before the crop goes to the market. So this is what we do. We ensure that your crop is meeting the quality specifications. We guide you, we support you in terms of feeding the crop, in terms of post-harvest management. We tell you what not to do. In terms of pest management, we guide you on the right products, and we're working with all the other agents or the other players in the industry, like the likes of Bear and the likes of Yala, who are able to support you with the right products. So the other aspect of the marketplace, which I had mentioned, is about the reports, and we're able to give you reports on what happens in the market on a daily basis. In terms of prices, in terms of reports, in terms of everything that happens in the market. In this way, you're able to save time, money, and avoid being subject of speculative prices, emails, and all that. So with the new developments in the industry, especially on the export products, we have the traceability as a solution, where we are able to code our products and ensure the farmer is able to trace the farm produce. We are able to trace it from the origin, and especially now for coffee and products like avocado, where the international buyers or the global buyers would like to know the origin. We are able to give you that through our system, where we will also be able to collect data from your farms. We are able to give you geolocation, and when we do the harvesting, or when you sell to us your crop, we should be able to give that information to the buyer. And how does this help the farmer? When we produce the best coffee, for instance, we can be able to negotiate for better prices. Because once they know this coffee is from a specific place in Meru, we will then know this is a high premium coffee, and then we need to give them the best price. Meet some of our suppliers or some of our customers that we are working with across all the value chains. In coffee, we have Barry, but these are the players, or these are the customers that we are working with. The likes of Romacida, they are doing soy. And I know sometimes the farmers who are doing coffee are still the same farmers who are doing other crops. So we have Romacida. We are also buying soybean in Kenya. We have Olam who are buying coffee in Bari. We're also buying coffee. For the farmers who are based in Meru and Tharaka, we are also working with EUDR in supplying sorghum. So that is a good, I know some of the farmers here are coffee farmers, but at the same time, they are sorghum farmers. So we can also support you in this end. That's all from our end. Back to you, Ifeoma.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you so much, Amos. You have both done very wonderful presentation. So now the floor is open for questions. So if you have any question, you can start dropping it in the comment section so that we can take it up from there. So if you have any question, you can share your question in the comment section now, and then I will take it up from there. Jennifer, I can stop presenting. So if you have any questions, please feel free to share. Okay, I can see some hands raised. Catherine, let's start with you. Catherine Coffee, please, you can share your question. Oh yes, Elvis, Catherine, you can unmute yourself and share your question. After that, John will share his question.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so Elvis, I can see you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, my name is Stephen Kiara from Kaderi.
Okay.
Yes, so my question is, I would like to know how we shall be guided on how to register with your platform.
Okay. So which of the platforms do you want to register?
Webinar.
For the webinar?
Yes.
Okay, you can drop your email in the comment section, and our team will follow up with you.
Thank you.
All right, so Mr. Marite John, you can proceed with your question. Mr. Marite John, you can proceed with your question. Hand is raised. We cannot hear you. You're on mute. Can you unmute yourself to speak?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I'm Marite John from Mitene Farmers in Meru. So my question is, we have seen a lot of things, but most of us we cannot have written all those in notes. Can you have a soft copy so that you can be able to read them and get the required information? Hello?
Yes. We will definitely share the soft copy with everyone that attended this webinar. So
Okay.
you can drop your email address in the comment section so that we will ensure that your email is part of those that get in. So kindly drop your email address in the message inbox so that we can share the recording and also the slides presentation with you.
Okay,
So
thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Marite. Then also, Mr. Ambrose, you can proceed with your question. Mr. Ambrose, your hand is raised. If you are speaking, you're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good. Yes, my name is Ambrose. I'm calling from Embu. I actually like the program and I congratulate you for that initiative because most of us didn't need it. Now, what I'd like to know where your offices are in Kenya because I'm interested to visit your office so that we can have a further discussion. The other question is, I am a chairman of Fish Farmers and we have a group, a farmers group for the fish of 5 members. You would like to join in this business so that you can link up with the market. So I would like to know where can we start or how can we go about it so that we benefit from this market. You can get me?
Yes, I can get you, Mr. Ambrose. So from what you're saying you want our physical address so that you can visit our store.
Yeah.
And then we're this thing, this which farmer at this you want. Can you hear me? I think I have to put you on mute. I can barely hear myself.
I can hear you.
Okay, so our team will follow up with you. Kindly drop your email address in the chat box so that our team will follow up with you. Please, Jennifer, take note of all the emails that have been dropped in the chat box. Also, I would like to share with everyone that Zowasel recently launched an AgSpace global program that is available for every merchant. So every agribusinesses, farmer cooperative across the country. So you can sign up on Zowasel Zowasel AgSpace program, and you have the opportunity to get direct access to our marketplace platform and also opportunity to access trade finance. So we are going to guide you all through the way. So we also have quality assurance opportunity for where we will follow you up with online testing for quality assurance and everything that you need to be able to get direct access to global buyers and get better offers for your crop commodity. So if you would like to sign up for the Global Ag Tech program, I would drop our email address here. I'll drop a form link here so that you can fill the form and then our team would reach out to you. So you would see the form link now in the chat box. So is there any other person that have any question for us so that we can address it now? We have very few minutes till 12 p.m. Okay, I'm seeing your hand raised, Catherine, so you can proceed to ask your question. So I've dropped the form link in the message inbox. So if you would like to join Zowasel Active Global Program, where you get access to our marketplace, also opportunity for trade finance to support your business, you can visit the form link and sign up, and then our representative would follow up with you. So, Catherine, you can proceed with your question. If you are speaking, you're on mute, so we'll not be able to hear you. Ambrose, you can proceed with your question because I can see your hand is raised. And Elvis, I can see your hand is also raised. So. Okay, Ambrose, can proceed with your question.
I think I'm okay.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Ambrose. Then Elvis, you can proceed with your question.
Okay, you can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Thank you. I'm Edwis from NWS Coffee in Kenya. My question is about, and basically, thank you for the presentation. They are very elaborate. But I think what I was missing from the presentation is a case studies about success stories. What Zowasel has done, what eProd has done. I think that what I was missing. I expected something. Thank you.
Okay, Vion, kindly answer this question, or would you want to answer this, Amal?
I'm happy to quickly answer here. So I was in the beginning of the presentation, I mentioned that we have implemented with over 200 clients, mainly in Sub-Saharan Africa. Also with coffee clients, we have coffee, cocoa clients, we have clients in the rubber sector, all EUDR clients. Now, the EUDR itself is not yet official, but I know that quite a few of our clients get already premium prices for being compliant, so that is work in progress. We are working in many different value chains, and some of our clients are actually also present here. They can prove that we have a lot of success stories. So we work with different countries. What is mainly interesting for the Kenyan cooperatives, if you're interested in taking up eProd, we are part of the 1 Million Farmer platform. So there's support from the World Bank in co-financing the implementation. So if you're interested, either through the 1 Million Farmer platform or through NAF CDP, there's funding available to help you digitalize your value chain and help you become compliant for the EUDR process. And then if you go to our website, you will read also a number of different client implementations and success stories that we have had. I will put our website also in the chat box, so then you can visit and just read different implementations and success stories.
Okay, thank you so much, Ahmad. Charles, I can see your hand is raised. We have less than 4 minutes, so your question is going to be the last one for the day. So Charles, you can proceed.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you, Almut and the team from Zowasel for a very elaborate presentation. As Almut has said, I will just join. I'm also part of the beneficiaries of the eProd solution. Landmark Millers has been using it for the past 2 years now, and we can attest to the amazing work, especially in resource mobilization, traceability, that has seen us graduate to aggregate regionally for some of our markets. That said, that was directed to Elvis to just give him a practical example and set of persons who are benefiting from eProd. My question is to Zowasel. We operate in Uganda, and you talked of a regional office in Nairobi. Does that serve Uganda? And also, are there specific value chains that you work with for the Uganda team? Because we are in sorghum, soybean, cassava, and I have had only quite elaborate examples, especially for coffee. Thanks, guys, and good afternoon to all.
Thank you very much for your question. Choma, our head of customer success, would take that. Choma, please. Choma, can you hear me?
I'm having a little network issue. Please, can you say that again? Network is really bad from my end. Go ahead, Ifoma.
So he wanted to know if there are other value chain we operate in, and as they are in Uganda, is it possible that our Kenya location will be able to offtake his products in Uganda?
Oh, yes. Yes, we can offtake his products. We have other value chain, like the soybean, the sorghum, the cocoa. Yeah, so may I know the commodity you like us to offtake, sir? What commodity?
We are predominantly in the value chains of white sorghum, soybean, Maxoy 5N, and rather Maxoy 6N and 3N. We do cassava as well, and maize.
Oh, that's great. Okay, yeah, so